Good morning, I'm Darrell Russell. I recently retired at the age of 65. I'm a lover of golf, but I have restrictions and flexibility. My core was not strong and I was overweight. So a friend of mine recommended Brian, so I decided to give it a try. I think it's important that he realized my limitations. He did an assessment first. We showed, where I had issues, and he took and customized that so that it would be easier for me to show results. And I've had real positive results. I think it was about a 6-month period, and I've lost approximately 17 pounds. My flexibility is a lot better. I can get really turned on my swing now, which was limiting my ability in my distance. So I've picked up some distance. I still have a lot more to do, I want to do, but I'm excited about the possibility of what that's going to do for me. So my results.
My name's Summer Rochelle, and I'm a professional golfer on the LPGA Symetra Tour. Last year was my rookie season on tour, and one of the big things that I realized was how important the fitness aspect was to golf. Brian really helped me find a training program that worked for me. This off-season, I've seen more gains in my strength and mobility than I've seen through my college workouts and even before college. So I think we really dialed in on what worked for me and my body and helped prepare me to be ready for this upcoming season. One thing that we have gained from this whole process is a lot of speed in my swing, which equates to more distance. Brian is one of the very few golf-specific trainers in the state. He's someone that is well respected and someone that I would highly recommend to you. If you're looking to get these golf-specific training, there's no one better to come to get the evaluation and to find a program that really suits you and works for you. We all have weaknesses, we all have strengths, but finding that good balance, and that's something that Brian does very well. Look for Brian, get in touch with him, and let's take your game to the next level.
So what brought you in to see us at Pinnacle?
I had some lower back and some hip injuries, or not injuries, some problems, just some nagging problems that were affecting golf game and golf swing. And I just needed, I'd done some other things, chiropractics and things like that, and it just wasn't getting done. And so I wanted to come in and do that.
Okay. And so what kind of results did you see and how fast did you see them?
Went in, it was probably a week or two. I was able to, before the training and everything, I was during a round of golf, playing a round of golf, I was continually stretching. It was nagging, it was hurting. As we went through the first couple sessions, I was noticing on the golf course I wasn't doing that. Things were better. My hip was looser, it was more loose. It was the swing was more fluid, and so I could tell a difference in the activity, the normal round of golf. I would definitely recommend it, and I have recommended it to several people, and just tell them the difference that I've noticed in the way the hip feels, my back feels during a round of golf, how much better it is. And so I have recommended and would recommend anybody to do that, because I like the specific. Brian's got it tailored to the golf specific activity, and it's really done a lot of good.
Hi, I'm Carmen Anderson.
And I'm Tony Anderson.
We have a junior golfer with scoliosis, and we are glad that we met Brian recently because we feel like he's helping her a lot, and he really cares a lot about his patients.
We had a telehealth video last week, and it was very effective. We actually communicated effectively. He was able to demonstrate the exercises and also was able to watch her perform the exercises to ensure she was doing them properly. We was able to get the workout regimen in the comfort of our own home. And since we live out of town, that's very, very beneficial to us. And also during this time of crisis, you don't have to leave your house to get a workout. We feel like Brian is very caring about his patients, and he wants to make sure that they are injury free and also has a strong core.
My name is Tom Lee from Little Rock, Arkansas. I am 50 years old, and about a year ago, probably a little over a year ago, I had an opportunity to begin working with Dr. Brian Murphy, particularly around some of my my golf swing and my golf game in particular. A couple of things that were holding me back probably were my physical fitness and some injuries I'd had over the course of the last several years that I thought were probably holding me back. So we started meeting roughly once a week, once every couple of weeks on a strength and conditioning and flexibility plan. Brian has been kind of right there every step of the way, helping me with, like I said, strength, speed in my golf swing, but more than anything, really was keeping me healthy through some of the flexibility exercises that he's given me to work with him, and then on my own through some of the portal programs he has. So everything from the stretching and before I go play golf, and how I take that program to the golf course, and then during the round, I think he's helped me with both the kind of the speed in the golf swing, the flexibility, and even some of the kind of the distance in my game. Another area that Brian's helped out with in particular is around the collaboration with the swing instructor that I work with, a gentleman out of Conway. Brian was very willing to collaborate with the swing professional and develop some exercises for me to incorporate into my practice rounds, and seen a lot of benefits from kind of that collaboration. So, if you've experienced any challenges with your health as it relates to a golf swing, or just the ability to kind of take the next step in your golf swing, I would encourage you to reach out for Brian and just maybe have a consultation on the areas that he can help in, because it's been very, very helpful over the last year, both with my general health and certainly with my golf game.
My name is Bob Russell. I am a Little Rock resident. I have been. I've raised my kids here. I am married, and I've been in this community for over 30 years. And probably like a lot of folks, I am, the older I've gotten, the more weight I was putting on. And so when I turned 55, I just made a decision that I was going to change aspects of my life. And one of the things I was going to do was incorporate a better eating habits. And then more particularly, I was going to look for someone who could help me get on track to help me lose weight in a constructive manner. In the past, I had tried to use several other trainers, and I felt like they were trying to have me try out for the Conway football team instead of actually trying to help me in my age, trying to lose weight appropriately and to gain muscle mass. Luckily, I stumbled across Brian because his name was on a board down at my local country club, and I gave him a call, and I started using Brian within the first month that I made a decision I was going to change things in my life. And over the course of the past year and a half, I have lost about 40 pounds. I'm in a good weight spot now. He's helping me kind of tone more muscle in different ways right now. So our workout regimen has kind of changed. But for me, Brian is very good about fitting the workout to my needs. I trust him. And the older I get, the more aches and pains that I get when I work out. And he's a physical therapist. That is his vocation, and that's primarily what he does. So when I have those aches and pains, Brian is able to focus on those and help me through that session. And so I feel stronger now than I have in 20 years. Like I said, I've lost almost 40 pounds, and I'm pleased where I am. And now I'm just using him on a continual weekly basis to keep me toned and keep my exercise regimen in place. The latest thing we're doing is he is working with a nutritionist to kind of help guide me through that next step. So I've enjoyed working with Brian. He's easy to work with. There are times when I work out with him where I literally hate him during the workout, but he's always pleasant. He always is thinking about what I need next, and I could not more highly endorse Brian for someone who gets kind of what I'm trying to do. And that's my testimonial. I hope that if you have any thoughts of using him, that you give him a shot, because I think he's well worth it.
All right, Dr. Brian Murphy here, and we have Kevin, who is going to give a testimonial about kind of his experience doing the golf fitness. So I'm going to ask him a few questions, and the first one is, what limitation or concerns did you have before you started seeing me?
I really didn't feel like I needed any of the services that Brian did. I felt reasonably healthy and didn't have any nagging injuries or surgeries or anything like that. What got me started to see Brian was the whole TPI exercises and stretches and the ability to potentially improve my golf game.
Awesome. Yeah, so I think I did the TPI golf class, and that was kind of an introduction to some of the services I did. Was there anything in particular in that class that you found out you were limited in doing?
Yeah, I really found out that my shoulder was limiting me more than I thought, and I wasn't getting the turn that I wanted to get in my golf game. And I ended up improving my index by 4 strokes within 6 months of starting with Brian. And we stayed pretty regular with it every week through that 6-month period.
Yeah, we did. I think I remember too that we took that body track mat out on the range.
That's
and
right.
We were able to shoot some video
And that helped me a lot to understand weight distribution in my feet, and as well as some things I saw in my swing that, frankly, I didn't want to see.
Right, exactly, yeah. And I think where a PT, specifically a golf PT, comes in really handy is that we can link those body limitations that sometimes can lead to those swing flaws that we see in the golf game.
Well, yeah, after we did that, if you remember, that's when we did the specific, where you did all my joints and everything, and that's when we really got into the very specific exercises around my shoulder.
Correct.
And I can't tell you how much, I mean, I could not lift my shoulder like this before.
Yeah.
And then after doing those exercises, which were really pretty simple and straightforward, and you think you do it, but until you get the email from Brian that says, did you do your repetitions of this today, you didn't realize that you didn't have the movement that you needed to have.
Correct.
And I got it after that.
Yeah, your improvement, I mean, not only in just your index, but thinking about your quality of life and some of the other goals that you have.
Well, it was funny, and that came a little bit later after some of the stretch classes and all that I'd been in them for about 6 months. I realized playing with the grandkids that I was going through some of the same movements as I was getting up off the floor playing tackle football with my 2-year-old grandson. I realized it was easier to get up. And, I don't know how long I'm going to live, but what I do want to experience is I want to have the best quality of life I possibly can and be able to do as much as I can, as long as I can. And I'm convinced that a good regimen of stretching and exercises like this, simple exercises, is improving my quality of life.
Yes, for sure.
And my golf game.
And your golf game, right, yes, yeah. And I think that catering it, anybody can look up videos on TPI, on YouTube, online, but it's what's specific to Kevin that makes it more important. Anybody can waste their time doing a bunch of exercises.
Well, and even making sure that you weren't working on things that really weren't that bad.
Correct.
So as much as it was important that I understood how much my shoulder was limiting me, it was good to know that I didn't have knee problems and other things that you hear so many other people have.
Right.
Going through all the tests, I realized that.
Yeah, preemptively. Yeah, one of the biggest goals that I have with golfers is to keep them from experiencing injury. So the more we can kind of bulletproof you to be able to go out and play every day if you wanted to, 18 holes, that I think is of great value too. Just unfortunately, a lot of people don't think about that on the front end. They wait until they're hurt and realize that they probably should have been doing something about their body before that. Yeah, so I've really enjoyed working with you, and I'm just excited that you've seen such great improvements and that you're feeling awesome. I mean, I think kudos to you for being really consistent with it. I think I see a lot of people, they get on the bandwagon and then they get off.
Well, part of it is making it not work.
Feasible,
Make
yeah.
it enjoyable, make it feasible, focus on the things you need to focus on. And then when you see the improvement, it's easy to continue.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm always here, you know that, and thanks again for doing this. I appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Brian.